I shamelessly stole this idea from Go Read Books, so go check out his channel, linked in the description. Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be doing my shamelessly stolen idea here. Like I said, check out Go Read Books in the description. But I recently saw one of his videos where he did a challenge, like looking at 10 books, reading the first line, and ranking them on nothing but the first line, specifically choosing books that he's not read before, so that you don't honestly know what you're going to get. And I thought that sounded like a lot of fun. It sounds like he's done a couple. I watched the one with the self-pub books, which was the newer ones, and so I decided to do that with self-pub of my own here. And I have quite a collection here. Most of these are review copies, so I thought this would be a fun way to see like if any of the review copies like really jump out at me and make me want to like really jump in even sooner. So I thought that sounded like a cool idea. So we'll read the first lines, and then we'll see where the ranking gets out from there. All right, so let's get started. And the first one I'm going to do is one that it's not a review copy, but I've had this for so long, and I really want to read it. It sounds so interesting, and I just haven't gotten to it. Is Winds of Strife by U.G. Gutman. This is the Down This Night series, book 1. Really cool cover. I remember hearing a lot about this way back. So let's jump in and read the first line. So here's the prologue. We do have a map. I always like maps. Make sure. So the first line: the plan had collapsed. Well, it doesn't give me a whole lot, so we'll see where that fits in, but it doesn't stand out a whole lot. So this will be really interesting trying to actually rate these and put these in order. But yeah, the plan had collapsed. That's what we have for Winds of Strife. So next up, we're going to go, and I'm going to grab, this one's a review copy, Spirits Entwined by Teresa Bealey. This is book 1 of the Legend of Galleon, and I've got the second book for this one here too. This I know is YA, but sounds like it's just a lot of the classic fantasy stuff that I love. So let's jump in and read. I'm going to skip the dedication, get to chapter 1, and first line we have is, "The darkest hours of the day had come once the second sun had set." So that's interesting. We do actually have a solar system map, which is really interesting. That's not something you often see, showing there are 2 suns. So immediately I'm kind of pulled in here because we have 2 suns, making sure that's really evident in the solar system map. That's an interesting first line, just to immediately tell me an interesting tidbit about the world. So that's definitely ahead of the plan had collapsed for now. And let's see what else we get. Next up, we have another review copy, is The Awakening Fire by Cassidy Faley. And this is, I think, also part of a series, maybe? I don't see that it says so, and I don't remember. This is another one I really do need to get to as well. This is just another way, like I said, just to remind me of all the review copies I have and make myself feel bad for not getting to them yet. Let's jump in here. No map, but we have... Airships floated above the shining steel city like giant bloated fish. That is also a really interesting first line. So we have airships and a really interesting description there. So that's a good way to pull in. Now I'm debating is 2 suns or airships that are like bloated fish. I don't know which one. I'm going to put these 2 side by side for now, off to the side here, because I liked both of those a lot. I don't know which one I like more, so we'll wait and we'll see if it becomes clearer as I go along here. Next up we have In the Orbit of Sirens by T.A. Bruno. Now this is not a review copy, but I have the first, I think, 3 books of this, and it's been on my list a long time. I've had an ebook for a really long time and just haven't quite gotten to this. This is some self-pub sci-fi that I've heard really great things about with it as well. So let's see what we got here. Cool picture to start with. All right, so chapter 1 is "Follow me," Eliana Veston said, taking measured breaths as she walked through the forest. So that doesn't give me quite a lot either with it. So I think I'm gonna put that. I'm gonna put that actually. That's gonna be my bottom for now. Because the plan had collapsed. At least it's like, okay, we're in the middle of some action. This doesn't give me a whole lot, so we're going to put that one there. And stick with sci-fi with The Forsaken Planet by Brian Wilson. And this is a review copy, and this is supposed to be, it's sci-fi with some like fantasy elements in here as well. With it, let's jump in and read this one. So we'll skip the acknowledgments, but we do have a prologue, so we'll start with the prologue. As the sun set, Quinero's 2 moons shined bright in the red sky, casting a crimson glow upon the fortress yard, where the large crowd had gathered. Oh! So we have 2 suns and 2 moons. So it's interesting because the 2 suns was a fantasy and this is sci-fi. But interesting, 2 suns versus 2 moons. I do this has kind of the like ominous, the 2 suns shining. I like the description and that it's kind of like they're gathering, like something's going down. I'm gonna put this slightly above Spirits Entwined here. For now, since I'm kind of counting those 2 as similar, but with that difference there. So that was interesting here too. Interesting. So we get 2 suns, 2 moons, sky ships, some interesting stuff going on. Next up is Dawn of Wonder, The Awakening, Book 1 by Jonathan Renshaw. This one I've not actually had super long. This was sent to me by T from An Erudite Adventure. It is a chonker. One I know that he really, really enjoyed, and so definitely one I will be trying to get to at some point. This is pretty long, and I'm not entirely sure when we'll get to it. It does have a map. Always like to talk about maps. Alright, so the first chapter, we have Even the Wind Now Held Its Breath. I assume that's metaphorical. I don't like that, actually. Like, it's not a bad line, but all it just makes me think of, and I know it doesn't say this is entirely unfair for me to judge this, but all it reminds me of is the letting go of breath. It didn't know it was holding. For some reason, that's what that triggers. So I'm gonna put this on. It's gonna be in the bottom half. I don't know which specific one. I'm not doing good at actually ordering these, but I don't know, the way that just didn't hit my ear very well. Definitely not saying anything bad about the book, but it's an interesting first line. I might put that above the other 2 where nothing like specifically was happening, but I don't know. That's something about that just didn't hit me quite right. All right, next up, we're back to a review copy with Ascendant, The Songs of Chaos, Book 1 by Michael R. Miller, some Dragon Rider fantasy with a blind dragon. Beautiful covers on all of these. Let's jump in and take a look. We're going to skip the author part. There's like a song. We're not going to do the song. We're going to do the first actual line of the first chapter. Though he was running late, Holt spared a moment when he heard the dragon's roar. That's pretty cool. I like that. I'm going to rank this kind of middle so far. Yeah, I'm gonna rank this kind of middle. Cool line, but some of the other ones stood out more for me. Alright, moving on to The Failed Technomancer by Boo Ludlow. This is Robot Cannibal Apocalypse, Book 1, which is, I have no idea what's going on with this one. This is one that I apparently, so it was a review copy, the author had like reached it a long time ago, and then got back when he actually had the book ready, and I even started it with like, you might not remember this, and so I didn't have a lot of memory of this. But he sent this on to me, and it sounds like it's going to be really interesting. So I have no idea what to expect for the first line of this one. So we have the prologue. I'm not going to read the epigraph, but the first line of the actual book is, "The Creator's spirit raged through a prophet like wildfire." Well, that's a pretty interesting line. That's a pretty interesting line. The Creator's spirit raged through prophet like wildfire. That's pretty cool. Right now, I think I'm going to put that, that's going to go just below my 3 top picks right now. So pretty good there, but I don't know, something about the 2 moons, 2 suns, and the airships, those really pulled me in right away. Just some interesting things going on there. So I'm going to go just right there. I think I have an order pretty good. We'll reveal it all at the end. Next up we have Dreamer's Throne by Seth Ring. And this, I remember, is supposed to be kind of a lit RPG, I think, with a disabled character and like mob involvement. This is one I got fairly recently. It's very tiny text. The first line of this one is, "It wasn't the scratchy sheets that finally convinced him he wasn't dreaming." Yeah, okay. I assume that we're gonna get. I didn't read the rest. I just read the first line. I assume we're gonna get a lot more descriptions here, but that doesn't do a whole lot. So we're gonna put that just We're going to put that in a little bit in the lower section. Okay, he's not dreaming, but nothing huge there. We're going to finish off, though, with Curse of the Fallen by H.C. Newell. I love the covers of these books. This is not a review copy, but I just really wanted to try these because they sound interesting, and I love the covers. And let's find the first line of this one. Oh, we got some pronunciation guides and some other little interesting things here, but we're going to skip forward to chapter 1. All right, first line. Ebbard fell forward when his binds were cut. Doesn't give me a ton either. It's so hard reading the first one. So I think I'm gonna put that. I'm gonna go with here. So I have to decide now. Oh, I don't know. This is somewhat arbitrary at this point. All right. This is the order we're going with. I put, for second planet on top, the two moons, kind of like crowd gathering was pretty cool. I really like the airship comment, so I just put that in the middle of the two suns comment. The creator's energy going like fire, or however that was pretty cool. Dragons roaring, I would have thought would be higher, but didn't give me a ton. And then the rest I wasn't crazy about, but was still like none of these had a bad first line. I'm just trying to rate on only a first line, which is hard to do. So this is the order that we end up. So I'm still planning to read all of these books, but this was kind of a fun exercise to do. Let me know if you enjoyed this. If you'd like to see this trying with some other books, or maybe like where I handpick some books and do that. I feel like that could be kind of a fun thing too. I know I've seen people do like lines from books or first lines from books and trying to figure it out from there too. So I think that would be kind of cool with it. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you did. And that's really it for this one. So make sure to give the video a like if you enjoyed it. Check the link in the description, as always, for the Wizardly Enclave Discord if you want to talk books, whether any of these books, other books, really anything at all. It's a lot of fun. We'd love to have you. And, of course, if you enjoy my content, make sure to subscribe.